following on from the things that we've been talking about, so how to tell from your elimination and also from different signs that you are doing the right thing, if you're going to introduce a food, like how to tell like what your body should feel ideally, and perhaps some things that you shouldn't feel, like to tell whether it's good for you or not. Like, yeah, so moving on from here, what you should ideally be experiencing, and then you said also that you could have, it's common to have like another bit of a severe detox at some point.
Not necessarily a severe detox. It's not going to be anything like it was for most people while they're fasting. You okay? It's just that your body's going to continue detoxing. As I mentioned earlier, let me address the question directly.
I mean, I guess a lot of us came in here, I'm not sure about the newer people, but a lot of the original group, we all had quite chronic digestive issues. So it's quite important for me to understand like what should be happening with my digestion, with elimination, like transit time, what it should be. Is like, should fruit just be coming out? Like fruit water, like what? I don't know.
Okay, so first of all, in a general sense, a couple of things. One, you want to be clear that your body is still detoxing, and much more rapidly than before you fasted, because you've gotten most of the gross level stuff out of the way. You've raised your level of vitality and your level of efficiency, and so you're going to be able to cleanse at a rate you probably weren't able to before. And you're not done yet, most of you. It's still, again, normally people be leaving on Saturday. That's 2 days from now. And you're not leaving until tomorrow, but talking about what's going on for you today and what happens on Saturday could be two very different things. It's amazing how quickly things can change at this stage of the process from one day to the next. Okay? Changed a lot for you from one day to the next, didn't it? It can change for a lot of people that way. So, most of you, if you follow the program, you are going to feel and function incredibly well. But there will still be some significant detox going on for some of you, depending on how much your body is able to get done during the process. That's going to vary for each person. There is no one pattern. It just depends on what's happening with your system, how much you've already accomplished, how much you have left to accomplish, how high your vitality is when you're done here. Because the higher the vitality, the faster the body can continue to eliminate and heal. So you're going to experience feeling really great and very energetic by the time you leave here. And then there may still be some stuff going on. What I would encourage you to do with regard to introducing fruit and soft, tender leafy greens, simple salads, is give it a chance. No matter what happens after a particular meal, if you're following the guidelines, you should feel and function perfectly well. But how do you know if you have a headache tomorrow morning, it's because of what you ate last night, or it's just because you have a headache? Your body was doing something that's what happened. It may not be so simple. So as I said to you earlier, you want to give it at least 2 or 3, probably 3 opportunities to test something if you think might be problematic. Most of the fresh fruits and soft tender leafy greens are not going to be problematic for any of you, regardless of what you had problems with before. You have healed your digestive tracts. Those I'm talking to, as if you're all done. Those of you that are done or nearly done, are very far along, you've already done the bulk of this work. So your system's probably going to work better than it ever has. Probably better than it has for decades, if not ever. You really don't have to worry about too much. But because stuff comes up, you need to understand how symptoms are cleansing and healing, and the fact that you have some symptom after you eat doesn't necessarily mean there's a problem. Okay? You want to be clear about that. In the same way that many people will drink coconut water and after a day or two will probably need to have their first bowel movement. It's not that coconut water, makes your stomach upset. Your stomach may get upset before the bowel movement, but that's because you've got all this nasty stuff in there that's now ready to eliminate. And until you eliminate it, you're not going to feel very well when it's sitting there, assuming it's nasty, toxic, old material. Until your body is done eliminating all that nasty, toxic, old material, anytime you're eliminating any of it, you may not feel very well. But you can't blame that on what you're eating, okay? So you want to be really careful about that. In terms of what to expect, I mean, again, there's going to be a range, but bowel movements, once you're done eliminating the old stuff, now until you're done eliminating the old stuff, there's a couple possibilities. So those of you that have yet to eat yet to eat, because even you've been eliminating all along. But by the time you're finished your fast, there'll probably still be some old stuff in there to eliminate. You could have bowel movements that were just old material, stuff that's been hard and dry, and those first bowel movements can be painful if that's what it is. Okay, that can be challenging. You can have your first bowel movements can be all new material, because it can be getting by the old stuff just like it always has in the past, in which case it'll be quick and easy and painless and relatively odor-free. Or they can be a combination of the two, which is a great option. I would choose option number 3 if you get to choose. I don't know that you get to choose, because that way you're getting the old stuff out with the least amount of pain and difficulty, okay, when it's mixed with the new stuff. It just happens that way sometimes. But again, because it's happening that way sometimes, you can't necessarily judge anything based on your stool until all the old stuff is out. Now, once all the old stuff is out, and for some of you, this could take as long as a couple of weeks after you're done here. It won't take that long for most people, but it could, okay? Once you've got all the old stuff out of your system, bowel movements should be formed, okay? So it's not diarrhea, it doesn't come out. It comes out formed. It looks like something, but it may be loose enough that when it hits the water, it breaks apart. Or it may be that as soon as you flush, it breaks apart. Okay? Because you're consuming only things that are high water content, even though your body is absorbing much of that excess water from the stool in the transverse colon. That's what happens primarily in the transverse colon as it's moving across the belly. It's taking extra water back into your system. There may still be enough water in that stool that it's going to break apart relatively easily. It's not like the old hard stuff you're used to passing in the past. Okay? I mean to the extent when I talk about it should be relatively quick and easy, you will eliminate, let me back up. Having suffered from severe digestive distress myself for a number of years, inherited weaknesses there, I would keep a stack of books in my bathroom, okay, when I was in my 20s. Okay, I would often spend an hour in the bathroom, and I would read quite a bit. After I got my system functioning well, I was so used to that, I'd carry a book in the bathroom with me. And I'd be done in about 5 seconds. And I'm not exaggerating. Okay? You position yourself, you tell your body, okay, and you're done. And you're going to use a lot less paper than before because it won't be nasty and sticky and messy. It's clean. Sometimes there's almost nothing there. And you'll notice, people say sometimes you think your shit doesn't stink. It's true, I do. I think that. It doesn't. Yours won't either. Okay, when you're eliminating fruit and leafy greens, nothing that's been rotting for months, nothing that was ever, decaying flesh or nasty toxic stuff, it's not going to have any strong odor. Okay, it's going to smell a lot like fruit.
And it will look like the fruit? Because that's what I've been experiencing.
It will not look like the fruit.
Pineapple, pink, whatever. Okay, so it's going to change.
Might be the same color.
Well, if you eat nothing but papaya and mangoes for 2 or 3 days, you're going to start having orange bowel movements. The reason why is because your body won't need any more carotenes, and so they'll pass right out through your stool. Okay? If you eat nothing but watermelon, after a while, your stool will become red. If you eat nothing but greens, your stool eventually will become green, but it shouldn't happen at the first meal. Okay, if it happens at the first meal, you're probably not assimilating very well. But your system is just getting started. So you've had these major issues for a long time. Just relax. It'll take care of itself. It always does. Okay? This is really, really important. Just as you were patient and trusted and surrendered to the process for the last month plus, don't start freaking out if it's not exactly like you think it should be. It's going to take a little while for some of you. There's a 6-week plan. Feel free, if you have questions over the next 6 weeks, feel free to email me. Okay? And this is up to you to prompt me. But you each get a consultation with me 6 weeks out on the phone or via Skype. But you have to initiate it. I'm not going to email you. I'm not going to remember. Okay? I'm not that organized. Email me and say, hey, it's been about 6 weeks. Can we have that chat? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we'll schedule it. And if you've got questions, that'll be a good time to answer your questions. I want you guys to succeed. I'm going to be there to help you as much as I can. Do understand that your system is still going to be going through some significant changes. And so it's not like, okay, I'm eating now, everything should be perfect. No, it doesn't happen quite that way. It takes a little while to get it all in perfect working order. And especially for anyone who's still going to be eliminating some old stuff, or where there was old digestive issues. Your system may still have a little bit of healing left to do, but I can almost guarantee you, I can't really guarantee it because every situation is different, but I can almost guarantee you, based on a lot of experience, in 3 or 4 weeks, if you follow the program, you will be having very, very nice, easy, fast, quick, odorless bowel movements, and everything should feel good, and your energy will be amazing, and your hydration level will start to go up, because that's not going to change much. We looked at yours today. It was down a little bit. Slightly down from last week. That's not so surprising. I think I told you guys from the very beginning, don't expect to see any significant change. Some of you are going to go up a little bit by the end of your process here. Some of you might be down a little bit, and some of you are going to be in almost the same place. Yours was down a tiny bit from last week. It's going to be after you finish eliminating all the old material. After your body has got all this old stuff out, which is right now absorbing a lot of water, that it's going to be easy to start getting hydrated. And then you should notice some significant shifts happening. So if you're dealing with any loose skin, if you're dealing with any wrinkles, I don't think any of you here really have any significant joint issues, but that's often hydration. Your eyesight will improve, and that's often hydration. All those things are going to change, and they're just going to start happening. And if you follow the program within about 6 months, and it could take that long, it won't take much longer than that for most of you. The vast majority of that stuff is going to heal, but it won't all disappear instantly, especially the skin issues. And again, most of you are too young to be worried about this kind of thing. But where someone is old enough to have significant wrinkling, we need to see a complete change of their skin. And it takes some time, because even as your hydration level is going up, your body is going to be ensuring that those most vital systems and organs get what they need. Once everything's gotten what they need, then you're going to start to see improvements in skin, joints, discs, eyes, those things, okay, to a much greater extent. But it's all going to happen, but it's going to happen over the next 1 to 6 months, depending on where each of you are.